Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. Before I begin this video and you would like to use OCD Recovery's coaching services, please reach out to Phil at ocdrecovery.com and he'll get back to you as quick as he can. I'm also now available for coaching, guys, have been for the last few months. So yeah, just sort of let you know with that one. So with gut instincts, right, this is such a crucial topic in OCD, right? It very much dictates things on the recovery journey, especially in ROCD, HOCD, and any theme really where we're honed in on that gut feeling, that gut sensation about whether something is right or not. And with the gut instinct, we use it as this internal compass that we base all our decisions off of, right? And it's understandable. We've got this brain in this body. This is all that we know. We don't have any other experience apart from what's actually happening inside us. And that gut instinct we use as, like I said, we use it as a compass to navigate through life. And sometimes our gut instinct will be right, so to speak, and sometimes our gut instinct is going to be wrong. The gut instinct is a very wishy-washy term, and we think it's almost like this higher power that is always right, okay, but it's not. So the thing is with the gut instinct, right, it's open to bias. It can be changed. It's not this fixed thing in time, but we always think that, or the average human will tend to think that I need to go with my gut. My gut's always going to be the right thing to do, and I have to stick with that. But what we don't know, or what some people aren't aware of, is that the gut instinct has been influenced by numerous different factors over time, right? So genetics, biology, the environment. If say you had two people, right, and one person was attacked by a dog at a young age and the other person wasn't, growing up, that person who's been attacked by the dog and has got quite a bad experience with that gut feeling about that particular dog, or that gut feeling about dogs in general, is going to be very bad. And so when they come across a dog, they're going to be more risk averse. They're going to want to avoid that dog, whereas the other person who hasn't got that experience with that past experience is probably more than likely going to be more open to the dog, right? So you can see how there's two different gut instincts going on there, which have been shaped by past events. I'm not saying the past events directly causes that. Of course, there's some belief systems in there, looking at trauma, it's belief systems that we have, but that thing that's happened in the environment has affected those belief systems, and therefore the gut instinct has been affected by that, right? So that's very important to remember. There isn't one universal gut instinct, right, that's the same for one person as it is for another. It's like, if you go to a football match, right, and you place a bet, people who place bets on football matches, they'll have a gut instinct about what the result might be in order to try and win money. However, more often than not, even though they've had that gut instinct that they thought was right, they put the bet on, and then more often than not, the bet doesn't come in because the bookmaker tends to be in pocket all of the time. It's a big operating business model where they make billions of pounds. Bet365 in the UK is running on billions of pounds in revenue, right? So we've got to think the gut instinct is not always going to be right, because if it was, then we'd constantly be making the right decisions. Everybody would be rich, life would be easy, nothing would go wrong. And with OCD as well, especially in ROCD, our gut has been effectively hijacked, right? If we suddenly started having, or indulging all the belief systems that OCD can throw up. So I'm in the wrong relationship, I don't find my partner attractive, I'm living a lie. If we keep having those belief systems over and over again, it's more than likely that we're going to have those feelings or tendencies to think that we are in the wrong relationship, right? Because our belief systems are going to be influencing the gut feeling, right? And of course, there's not always an easy way to tell about how the inner workings of the brain and the mosaic of the mind works and why we have these particular gut feelings, right? But more than likely, over periods of time, they've been influenced by our experiences and our beliefs, more importantly, that we hold in those experiences, right? So it's never going to look the same for two different people, right? And we can get it with anything, relationships, we can get it with jobs, gut feeling that I'm not in the right job, and then somebody might quit the job and then realize that, actually that job was actually quite good for me, and they learn that because they get another job which they don't like at all, and they think, I wish I was back in that job, but the gut feeling at the time said that it was the wrong job because of the beliefs that they're imprinting on the gut, right? So it just goes to show you that the gut instinct isn't always right, and we have to be careful of that. So, with the gut and it being hijacked in OCD, all we can really do, and Nick makes a really good point about this, all we can do is make a decision and stick with it for an extended period of time, whether that's a job, whether that's a relationship, a friendship, anything like that. All we can do when the gut has been hijacked, all we can do is stick with a decision, and make a decision and then stick with that for a foreseeable period of time, because otherwise we're just going to be caught up in this loop of chasing the next thing, chasing the next thing. We might get that icky feeling of it being wrong, the job or the relationship. Then we leave. We might get relief for a little bit, and then bang, OCD rears its head again, and we're caught back in the same cycle, and you're just caught in this never-ending cycle. I had this a lot for jobs, to be honest. I've worked. I'm 28 years old, and I must have worked about 13 or 14 different jobs, right? So yeah, that was definitely OCD, calling the shots there. So we do have to be careful of that. If that icky feeling does come, whether it's the job and the relationship, it's very good for frustration tolerance to just sit with it and, to weigh up the pros and cons of the position that you find yourself in. And, I'm not saying that you can't ever leave a job or leave a relationship. If there was something that was going drastically wrong, maybe there'd be some kind of abuse or, misconduct that's, affecting your physical and mental health, like to a really bad extent. Yeah, you possibly could leave, but more often than not, it's the gut that's been hijacked and making it feel urgent that we need to get out. Because how bad would it be if we was in the wrong relationship? How bad would it be if we was in a wrong job? How bad would it be if we was in a wrong friendship? More than likely it wouldn't be the end of the world, right? We'd survive. We wouldn't implode on the spot. And an OCD, in those moments, it makes you think that you need to get out. I need to leave right now. It's so awful. It's so unbearable. But that's when it holds the upper hand. We need to just get comfortable with, sitting with those gut feelings, sitting with those gut instincts, and even sometimes forcing yourself to act against it, right? I'm not saying in a compulsive standpoint, but in our OCD, right, the first sign of you having a wrong gut feeling and you leave the relationship, then you can throw away a very good relationship, right? So I'm not saying compulsively, like, false feelings or anything like that. I'm saying that when those gut feelings of it feeling wrong come up, it's sometimes good to just go towards that thing that we're scared of, because otherwise you're just going to be caught in this cycle of leaving relationships and leaving job, never finding any stability and just looking for the next thing. All right. It's very much, with OCD, it's like with an OCD brain, if I'm in a situation where I'm in France and I get on a plane and I fly to Spain, even though that situation is different, my brain is still going to be the same, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean that a change of circumstances is going to change us, right? That's a good example I like to use. So yeah, just be aware of how OCD will try and manipulate and hijack the gut, right? It's very sneaky in the way that we do that, and you see lots of things online saying trust your gut, follow your gut instinct, but yeah, it's not necessarily the most productive behavior in OCD, because like I said, it's prone to biases. There's no universal gut instinct. People with different experiences and beliefs and genetics and tendencies will have different gut instincts, and it's very open to bias and influence. And in OCD, that's going to be absolutely hijacked. And yeah, so like I said, it's better to make a decision, stick with it for an extended period of time, weigh up the pros and cons before making a decision as well. And yeah, just really sticking with that, improving the frustration tolerance, even if you was in the wrong position or situation. It's important that we build our frustration tolerance towards that. Okay, so something to think about when it comes to gut instinct in OCD.